continue with the story. The verba, the words of Cicero himself, are positive. I put forwards, and here they are in the quote. Atticae, and so, idem Gracchus, the same Gracchus that you're able to hear, Catullus, that would be evocative, from your client Licinius, who is a literato homine, a man of letters, so an educated man, whom was a servum, a slave, he had for himself. So he's talking to this guy about this guy concerning this Sibi would be Cicero, I'm guessing, who he had ad menum. It's a variant of amenu for an amanuensis or whatever you call him. So he was a slave and also a guy who did work here, who cum Ibernia solitus est to have, who was accustomed to have an ivory fistula pipe, who would he would stand occulte, secretly, post ipsum, behind him, guessing Cicero, when he was holding an assembly, Contiana, he was speaking to people. So he's a literato homine and a peritum hominem. So he was an experienced man who could celerata, quickly inflate a sound on the pipe, blow a sound, who illum, either when they are a bit remiss, or he would excite them, or he would recall them from when these people who were in the assembly here get out of control a bit. He could excite them or call them back to get attention or whatever. 17. Autem, however, or moreover, the mores, the habit, illum habit, this habit of ingredienting, of entering, there's another thing in that position, of entering battle, that's a genitive, to the modulus, to the beat of flute players, or to the rhythm of flute players, was institutum esse, was instituted by the Lacedaemonians, the Spartans, which Aristotle, in his Libris, in his books, Scripsit, wrote, the problematon. You could put that in inverted commas, I'll just do that to it. Manifestior, comparative, so quo with a comparative means ut, so that it would become more manifest, and exploratior, which would literally means more explored. So be more manifest and on display, or something you might want to say. The securitas, the security or the inner strength and the alacrity, that's the enthusiasm of the soldiers. Anyway, so that their firmness and their enthusiasm of the soldiers could become more manifest and something you wouldn't doubt. 18, continuing this quote. For, inquit, he said, diffidentia, fides is trust, so diffidentia is distrusting and timorousness behavior, so fear and not having faith in yourself when you're in an ingression of this huius modi, this type, minime, leastly convenient, agreeable to it. Doesn't fit the situation to have fear and distrust. And maestai, it's usually gloominess, and formidantes, and dread, from such and so an intrepid and so decora, which usually means honourable or handsome way, of inciting, going forward to attack, in this modulation, in the, just leave that out for now, alien sort. So, you don't want to have any of this fear and gloom. These are alien to such an intrepid and fitting type of attack. The modulation would be the rhythm again. 19. Verba porca, few words, new to plural of Aristotle. Super ea, as we saw, Gellius likes to use super instead of de. They both take the ablative. Concerning this matter, ea, I've apposited, so he's placed here. And looks like that's something in Greek. I'll have to look at the translation. And then we start the next letter. And as we know, the intro here needs italicsing as well. So I'll just read what that was. Why, when on the point of encountering danger, did they advance to music and the pipe? In order to detect the cowards by their failure to keep time. Okay, so that's what that Greek stuff was about. Letter 12. Virgo Vestae, a virgin of the Vestals. Quid aetatis, what age? And from quali familia, what type of family? And quo ritu, by what kind of rites? By which ceremonies and religionubuses, these would be religious acts, and by what name she shall capiatur, shall be taken or given by the Pontifex Maximus, that's the great priest, and quo statum, and what statum immediately when she begins to be Vestal Virgin, by what rights she has, that's Ure. At the same time, also as Capta Est, as she's taken into this role, Quodqui, and what, as Labo Dixits, or Dicits, as he says, she can neither cui quem to anyone intestate, she can't, looks like she can't be the heir. She can't be an heir to someone intestate, and neither quisquam anyone, so she can't be an heir to anyone, and she cannot leave things to anyone else either. So, because she's leaving all that worldly stuff behind. So, 1. Qui. Give me a question, looks like who. Those who have scripture entered, those who have written on the capi ending of virgins, the Vestal Virgin to be picked, those who have wrote of quorum, of who has scriptured most diligently, the most diligent writer or fulfilling writer on this was Labo Antistius, this guy here. It looks like what he's saying is minorem quem enos sex, less than 6 years of age, or more than enos decum, or more than 10 years natum, negaverant. They deny anyone it is fas, lawful, to be taken. Anyone who's younger than 6 or older than 10. If you needed to know that. 2. Likewise, which she must not, non sit, patrima and matrima. It's a strange way of saying she has a father who's living and a mother who's living. Okay, so, and item 3, you might want to say also, which she, a lingua debile, she must not have a stutter or something, problems with talking, or her sensu aurium, or sense of hearing, must not be diminished, or any other labe, which is like, can be pestilence, it's usually some sort of insignificant, so it'd be a marking, must not have any blemishes of her corporis, of her body. So, there you go. Okay, so, patrimus, patrima, the adjective, having a father still living. Okay, so she's denied if she's less than 6 or older than 6, and she cannot be picked if unless her father and mother are living, and she has to be able to talk and hear and not have any blemishes. Likewise, either herself or the father quis of her, if he's been emancipated, so if either her or her father have been emancipated, and even if with a living father, she's in the potestate of her avi, she's in the power of her grandfather. So it's pretty specific. 5. Likewise, cuius parents, alter or ambo, one or other of the parents, if they had served in servitude, for either of the parents being a slave, or if they versantur, if they had lived in or dealt with negotis sortis in dirty dealings, or no cleaning sewers or whatever it is, some lowly job, or if they were slaves, looks like they're also negaveranted. What do we got here? But also em, her, of whose sister to this sacerdotium, this is like a priesthood or brotherhood, so I guess it's a sisterhood of Vestal Virgins, lecta est. So if someone's sister's been chosen for this priesthood, they say she has earned an excuse or an exemption. Item. And again, of whose father was a flamen or an augur. Flamens are priests, augurs are another look at animal guts or whatever. Or the 15 men, the quindecim virum of the Sacris Facundis, that's the Sibylline books, or septem virum, or one of the 7 men of the takes care of the feasts of the gods, or one who is a Salius, someone who dances about, and apparently that's what priests of Mars do, they dance about. 7. The sponsors quoque also. Sponsor means you're promised to be betrothed, so I'm guessing if you're between ages of 6 and 10 and you're engaged to a pontifex, or what have we got? Daughters of a sacred tuberculus. This is some sort of flute playing in a sacred rites. There's exemption from the priesthood, is solet accustomed, tribui there. Okay, so it still goes on with these conditions, who you're going to marry, etc. Okay, nearly done. So if you're going to marry a pontifex, if you're the daughter of a flute player, and praeteri, besides capito aetius, reliquit, he's left this writing that neither can a filiam be picked to him qui who does not haboret a domicile in Italy. So someone who doesn't live in Italy, their daughter cannot be legandamed. And there's an excusation for this for people who have 3 children, 3 libros. So I don't know why that would be, but it's some religious reason. If you've got 3 children, you're excused from this. So 9. However, moreover, the Vestal Virgin, soon as she is capta, she's picked and taken, and she's deducted, she's led into the atrium of the Vestals, and she's tradita est to the dative, to the pontifexes, to the priests, starting immediately, eo tempora, at that time, without emancipation and without a dominion of her capital rights. She exits from her power of a father, and she at episcopal she obtains the jus, the right of faciunding a testament. She can make a will and testament any time between the ages of 6 and 10 as soon as she becomes a Vestal Virgin. And that's it for the day.